Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be doing a build for Ares. This is going to be semi-troll, maybe. Yeah, it's a little trolly, but I think it could absolutely work. I mean, these are all great items in this build, and I think it's a cool idea because Ares is, of course, known for his ultimate, his huge AoE ultimate that drags everyone in. So he is known for benefiting from aura items, and luckily enough, the start right now for most supports include aura items right off the bat, so Sovereignty and Heartwood Amulet. So we're actually going to be going with that normal start and then just go into some like other aura items that Ares kind of picks up anyways. So really these items aren't um, unheard of on Ares. I think a lot of them are actually pretty popular on him, but we're going to just combine them all together so that he is just going to be an aura machine. I love auras. I think it's kind of an underrated thing because you can't really measure how auras really affect the team because they're constantly affecting them and constantly benefiting them. So that's great. Another thing is he has an aura buff, so you're just kind of adding that on the stack of auras with this type of build. So we're gonna go right into it. Um, we're gonna start off with, of course, an aura passive. I mean starter item, which is Watcher's Gift. Then we're gonna go into boots one, of course. And then I think most supports right now are doing um, 4 mana and 4 health. You could also do, depending on what your playstyle is, you could do 5 mana, 3 health, or 5 health, 3 mana. Really depends on what you want to do. I think 4 of each is perfect. I actually used to do 4 mana and then 2 wards because I really liked having those wards early. But I've noticed that you don't really need the wards early as much as you used to, and this is just really the general start anyway. So I'm just kind of going with it. But with that, we'll go into our boots. Now, there is not really an aura type of boots, so unfortunately, we're gonna have to make a sacrifice with no aura boots, but we'll go into the reinforced shoes. I think this is what I do on all supports that I play now, just because it makes you really tanky early. That 30% growl control reduction is great. Very underrated type of stat. People don't really think about it, but it basically any time that you are going to be CC'd, it reduces that by 30%. So that's amazing. It's also cheap. It's cheaper than most boots, so that's definitely what I get on most supports. After that, we're going to go into kind of a normal start. This has been the normal starts for a long time in Smite, and actually in Season 2, it changed a little bit in the beginning of Season 3, but it's gone back to it now. Sovereignty, Heartwood Amulet. This just gives your team physical protections on this item and magical protections on this item, as well as making you even tankier with the health and the protections. So I think these items just work very well on Ares, any other support as well. So those are the first two aura items. The next one we're going to go into is one that a lot of people also pick up on Ares. This gives him more magical power, but also reduces the magical protection of enemies within 55 units. This item is made for Ares really because not only will it allow him to do more damage from his ultimate, but any magical bursts that gets followed up after Ares' ultimate will just do more damage because it will reduce all of the magical protections of enemies who are caught in his ultimate. So, very useful item to have. Fits in this build very well. So we're gonna go into that for our fifth item. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna go take a look at some of the other aura items we have here and what we could possibly do. Now, if you wanted to do anti-healing, you could go Pestilence instead of Heartwood Amulet. It's really your decision. But what I'm going to do next is go into Mystical Mail. This actually got buffed recently. Gives 10 more physical protections. So that is great. I think this already was another good item on Ares. So when he uses ultimate, any enemies who are near him are just going to get a little bit more damage from this aura. So we're going with the theme of all aura Ares. And then finally, the last item, we can do a few things. So now a lot of people would probably want to go into something like Mantle of Discord. Now this actually kind of is an aura item with the passive, and this definitely makes the most sense on Ares. But because we're going to stick with the aura type of theme, We're not going to do that. I think this could be in the build, and I would actually recommend that. That's why this build is a little bit trolly, because this is probably the most obvious item to go after Mystical Mail, because of the protections are just awesome to have, especially late game. But we are going to go into either Witchblade or Pythax Peace. Now, Pythax Peace is going to be something that's just going to make him more aggressive. The aura will give your allies magical lifesteal. The Witchblade actually is not a bad item. It's just not one that's picked up very often, because you don't get any health off of it. I think that's the biggest reason why. Whereas if you get Midgardian Mail, that does give you a lot of health. So we are going to go into the Witchblade for our final item. This is going to reduce attack speed by 20% and physical power by 30. So that is it. That is our Ares builds. Complete aura based. I think it could definitely work in all play. But just keep in mind, Witchblade is kind of not the best ending to it. So, so that is it. Let me know what you think about it. If you have any builds that you'd like to use for Ares, I would love to see them. But I thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day.